Hello, this is PewDiePie again. Here I am going to commentate another Mogi. This is actually the first official 2.4 Mogi that I played in. Not the first one ever. I think it's like the third or fourth ever. I don't remember what I was doing, but so those who don't know, Mogi is effectively just a 12 or 8 player competitive lobby, and you gain or lose MMR based off of how well you do in relation to everybody else. It's not too the races can get intense, but like no one's like really dying for like a ton of MMR. It's a pretty chill vibe. I've been going for that proc spine at the beginning of Autumn Ring, but I missed it there. Nice way to get amps because you can trap the shortcut pretty easily, and it's pretty hard to actually avoid. Mogi typically, or almost always, will do one practice round at the start. So this is actually a practice round. This doesn't count for the entirety of the Mogi. And then you do 12 rounds after that. Those all count towards your score. I decided I'm playing Chuchu right now because it's a stat I didn't try too much in 2.4. And I thought that with playing against Latisti specifically made me think at this moment, and still somewhat right now, that lightweights are like super meta right now, so I'm trying to get better at driving the lightweights. I got stuck in an unfortunate position there, but I managed to get it back through a double whip. It's very risky to go for the whips as the lightweight. If you get bumped at all, you're in so much stone, especially if it's by a heavyweight. Sheesh. I'm more or less used to running 1 speed 1 weights. So though I did try 9 speed 1 weight a little bit, I had mixed results with it. That Proxmine did not at all go where I thought it would, but at the same time it sort of makes sense with the speed that I had. But also it bounced in a really awkward way, so bleh. Slowing down just a little bit, actually have an item for the ending. And that's gonna be a solid second place there. Managed to ring bail and not get messed up. 102 being a pretty respectable course for any given, or pretty respectable score for any given course, I would say. Every course gives 150, a maximum of 150 experience. So the score, it's like you get a percentage of them depending on how many checkpoints are in the level, and then 3 times as much at the very end. So the ending checkpoint is actually, you actually get less score if there's more checkpoints in the level overall, because it's getting if there's more checkpoints, that means the score is more spread out, and 3 times whatever the checkpoint value would be inherently less. At least I think that's how it works. I picked Mystic Cave because it's a good lightweight level for speed stacking or ring maxing or whatever. I think in hindsight, I should have used my amps there, but to try to push ahead into first to try to get some more EXP, but not that big of a deal. I managed to take first there as well. Going for mostly super rings there, and having to purposely break to not get hit by the Orby there. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been a really good shot. I also slowed down just a little bit there, because I've been hit in that situation multiple times. And then whenever I speed up immediately, I always get squished by the thing. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I don't go for the probation. I'm like, in hindsight, it would have worked actually, but I was pretty close to first, so I don't think I wanted to risk it. Going for jaws there is a decent idea, but you're kind of in an awkward spot afterwards to where you don't have a lot of speed to actually apply to the jaws. They gave this course 4 laps, and it's a little bit curious because some courses that are really short still only have 3 laps, while some courses that I think even drag on a little too long, like Hard Hat Havoc, now have 5 laps. That course feels like an eternity in the current patch. It was a good shot by Lapras, and I couldn't have really seen that coming, so unless I turned back, but that's a hard place to turn back on because, or look back on because I wouldn't get to know the item until very late because of the upward slope. 126, very good score for that level. I think like slight speed, but not max speed necessarily. I had a point in time where I thought Bomb could cure. I think in theory Bomb could still be the best stat line, but it's hard to say for certain because despite all the things of the nature that happen in the game, drifts are still really important and help with front running too. Also, funny thing, this was between a Sub-Zero Peak and Robotnik Winter. Those are 2 winter levels. I wanted to go to Sub-Zero Peak because I actually got the Platinum Medal there by using Chuchu stat. Also, it's a complete miracle that didn't hit me. And Bones, that is Bones for hire. I didn't know during the Mogi, but I figured it out. But Bones for hire managed to pass me there. Unfortunately got stuck on the tripwire after being whipped. Felt like there's a way I could be doing that section a little bit better at the end to maintain a bit more speed. I'm not sure why I didn't try dash there. Maybe I saw a trap that I didn't see now, or didn't think I had a Drift Spark, but I'm pretty sure I did have a Drift Spark. So this is what I mean, like this level is fairly short, but only has 3 laps. Like arguably about more or less the same length as Mystic Cave, so that egg mark, I don't even remember putting an egg mark down, but it's gonna help a little bit. Maybe it got past me for like a second and I didn't notice. Falling down here is a bit of a shame, and this is actually the first time I've ever taken that shortcut, and I realized, oh, that shortcut's actually kind of cracked. Unfortunately, couldn't quite grab that shoe on the ground. And I managed to get second, but Napwhack manages to push forward. I think they probably got a better slope boost than I did off the fail. If I big brain that, I would have probably brake checked in front of Napwhack and then near the goal and then try to DI toward the goal. But there's a good chance I would have just gotten second anyway because I would have been in the hit stun. So we ended up going to Dimension Disaster. The vote was pretty split between Diamond Dust and Dimension Disaster. I know Diamond Dust isn't that popular of a map, but I don't know why people pick Diamond Disaster or Dimension Disaster so often. I'm getting my names mixed up because they both start with D, but I don't know, I've never really... In 2.3, I wasn't really like in love with this map. So I would pick it because of how broken Flame Shield was there. For the Mogi Flame Shield nerfs, but that's besides the point. But they added the spikes to like the spring line, which makes it really awkward and not super worth it to take. And they also made it 5 laps, so this is another one of those courses that feels like it just dragged on forever. So it could actually just be a shorter course, and it's just my bias of just not liking this course. I think I used the shoe a little bit sooner there in order to hydroplane on that. Save a little bit of time there. It's hard to know exactly when because I still don't know exactly how long my Sonic Boom is going to last for any given point. So currently only 15 experience. I think I go for a... yeah. So I was going to... I think in that moment I thought it was Probation's fault because I thought I should have gotten the shortcut, but I didn't. But I did lose quite a bit of speed there going off-road, so... Looking back at it now, of course. From what I understand, if you want to take a shortcut with the Super Ring, you gotta have like a little bit of like drift speed or like speed from a tri-dash or wave dash or going downhill, and then you'll probably pretty reliably take it unless you're like in first or really close to first. That's a really annoying place to try to avoid someone holding a stone shoe. In general, it feels like... I don't know how to describe this map. There's just something about it I don't really like. I think I end up just getting 4th or 5th here. Yeah, and I actually managed to steal a position from Krakow by using a ring bail, so... A lot of people are saying that you shouldn't even ring bail at the end because it doesn't even save time. It definitely saves at least a little bit of time in... I feel like the good majority of situations. I believe this is round 4. If people are put off by chat being there, don't worry. The future uploads that I have, probably not like the next one immediately, but like a few videos after that, will just have chat off unless I open it. A really weird opener where I get amps sort of out of nowhere, and I think I'm gonna get hit because I run out of rings, but I managed to shield on through. This is another one of those maps where it's like really hard to catch first once they have a lead. And I think I'm getting a little frustrated here because Bug is holding onto their Orbeez. I got the shoe here and ended up taking the shortcut, but I missed the grow arrow because I couldn't quite see where it was. I end up going for a ring box because I'm still at yellow crystals. I don't think I'm going to get a speed shoe or anything like that right there. And the ring box I think does better for me overall in this class. In terms of like a long term, if there's like no shortcuts that are really good. And this is a course that is like about the same length as Dimension Disaster, but it only has 3 laps, so it's just like, it's so curious. So to be fair, this has 2 checkpoints instead of Dimension Disaster is just 1 checkpoint in the middle. But in terms of length, it just doesn't feel like that long of a course. I don't know what I was thinking with that. I tried to steal it, but they had the zipper line, so they end up Bones ends up taking first, but I got a fairly respectable amount of points. Wasn't really contested outside of not really being able to catch up to first. On the third lap, I was actually ready to go for the item box, but unfortunately, the grow was already taken and it didn't respawn yet, so sucks to suck. Moving on to Hidden Palace Zone. I don't exactly know how I feel about this level. It's not like super. I finally managed to get first blood here, by the way. Frame 2 first blood. I think I spent amps almost immediately because there's a lot of people behind me, and I would like to get some first. That was a really nice turn, by the way. It's really good. The half pipes are like some of the hardest things to actually be consistent and optimal at. But usually I go for a drop dash there, if not an acid drop. So I'm front running for a little bit, but unfortunately I'm a little bit too close to that spike ball. I thought I was more to the right. I also wonder if even charging a wave dash there is worth it anymore due to the nerfed wave dash like speed in terms of how you actually charge it, and the fact it's on a pretty steep upward slope. And it's on a character with a negative spin wave dash or slip tide modifier. So I don't know, it beats me. Forces slow down here because Krakow has a lightning shield. And I'm also sort of just forced. Yeah, I shouldn't have tried to overtake there. That was very greedy. Unfortunately, you have to wait for a third box there just because the ring box to the left is just a little bit out of reach. I really wanted a ring box there. I'm pretty surprised I didn't hit that banana actually, but ended up falling off immediately after. It makes perfect sense. Oh, and end up bonking on the side. This is where things start going really wrong on this level. It looks like Bones just... I don't even know what that line Bones is playing, but it looks like they just gotta break away and they'll just win this race. There used to be like a second place wins race type map, but you don't really get shoes anymore at the final if you're like really close to second place, so yeah, Bones is gonna take that. I'll take a humble third. I believe Bones has been trying some lightweights recently. I can't tell what anyone's stat line is because of all the custom characters. This opener on Spring Yard, this is round 6, I think. Jeez, I feel like I've been watching this for so long. And I realized I couldn't make that, so I just fastball to get the respawn. So I'm not sure why I didn't take the spring line. Probably because I'm so resource starved, relatively speaking. But anyway, this Mogi, for some reason, this is feeling like, I don't know if it's just like me getting older, but I think I felt this last Mogi too. Yeah. I think a whole bunch of like weird, wacky stuff happened on this level that just made it. Yeah, and I can't even control myself right now. Yeah, that's gonna be another respawn. Oh, I'm not even gonna respawn. I have to go into the spikes to respawn. Oh yeah, this race is just coming back to me now. All these bad things that are happening. The spikes respawn, putting me back there. Having to roll rockets here. Getting launched like basically in every direction. At every like upward spring part. I can't get past the damn bumpers. Like, so, and there's just a rolling drop target there that I didn't see. Like so, like a hilarious number of things went wrong. And I'm just in hit stun forever there. I think I meant to take the shortcut there, but it looks like I had a little bit of lag actually. Unfortunately, I'm pretty out of this race. There's not too much to say. I might have tried to brake check Xander there whenever he went for that lip, but considering I had all that speed afterwards, Xander's all the way back there. Well, yeah, I got a bad pull from the item, bad experience, and I get bumped back down and have to go right all the way back up again. Just complete disaster of a race. Man, I would have loved to actually know what happened at in the front of the race. There's just yeah. Probably just gonna censor chat for that part. Here's a Metropolis race. I remember being slightly tilted by the Ring Yard race and some things that were going on in chat. But I managed to get a frame perfect boost anyway, so I think this is another one of those races that goes pretty well at the beginning and then kind of ends up taking a dumpster dive. I can never remember. This map, it gets voted for a lot, and I don't really understand why. This is one of my least favorite maps in the game. There's so many places that you can just get random airtime. The spike cycle feels super polarizing. I feel like I should definitely be using amps here, by the way. Whenever it circled around me the first time, I didn't think it would go around. And I'm not completely sure what gave me the extra amps there, actually. Did I drop down a Toximister? Would have made sense. And also, the trick panels are tiny, and you really want to get voltage here. If you don't have voltage, you're just in a huge disadvantage. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the rats. Like, so many different places you can just get random airtime, either from the air cycles or just due to being launched from the slope. Yeah, hit by an Orby there and just can't really. I managed to get the hit on Xander there, but had a hit on the Orby I couldn't really react to, and then I just sort of lost control and wasn't able to hit the trick panel there. I'm kind of surprised I didn't take damage there, actually. I think I forewarned. I think I forego taking the spring line there because of Doggo holding the jaws. Or was it Bones? I can't quite remember. But actually, a pretty alright race despite the ending position. Would have been nice to get a good ending position, but there was a lot of random things ended up, or that Orby. Going to Virtual Highway. I didn't pick this map. I think I picked Exor Lake, but a pretty decent medium lightweight type map. Also, I've been really whenever the egg mark is on me, I've been making like a lot of good plays to pass it to someone else. I think it's been something I've improved on a lot. It's just actually being able to read where people are on the map. Because you can like swerve, it's really easy to just swerve towards someone and then just barely not be in range to hit them, to bump into them, even though it looks like you're in range to bump into them. And I should avoid the... If I was like if I wanted to take like a huge risk, I could have just grabbed the egg box and then try to pass it to Doggo. Doggo gets a really good pull with the Hue. I think... Yeah, I remember now, so... I just like completely accepted I was probably gonna get a second place checkpoint, but... Oh, nice. That was a good great steal, actually. I realized in like half a second that there was that on the floor. I also passed that grow, or saw grow on the floor, but unfortunately couldn't quite get there in time. That's a really tight line, and yeah, Napwhack... Oh wait, yeah, Napwhack was able to take first place still. I thought I stole it, but I just didn't quite remember. But that line was really a little bit crazy because those flames are a lot more active than they look. And they're also a lot bigger than they look too, so being anywhere near them is a death sentence most of the time. It was a really good Toximister to put there as well. Probably would have gone pretty hard. So Robotnik Coaster's up next, and this is a map that I strangely just randomly became really good on. I think I just like... This was a map that was illegal in Mogi for a very long time. Also, terrible start even though I got first blood. Just bumping into everything. Taking everything way too tight, but... This is a map that I sort of randomly, like, started understanding. The speed boosters are just, like, really small and awkward to hit. I missed one there too as well. If I didn't miss it, maybe I would have avoided that whip, so... And I tried to go for another whip there, but... Or whip of my own, but I missed and ended up getting whipped myself. Kinda feels like that's a bit of a Clown Fiesta area for hazards. Just because you're going so fast. I think I go for a ring bale. No ring bale here. It might have just been another race, but you can decently consistently do a slip tide and a ring bale there to just take the shortcut. So long as you're not first, of course. Oh. I don't even remember what happened with me, but I started Braziling out right here. My internet just completely... It just went out completely. There wasn't like a storm or anything. I don't think anyone was downloading anything. I got whipped there, which... And then end up getting a bar because of a lag spike. Yeah, it's just like the whole game's like basically unplayable right now. Randomly shifting between D11, D8. I think I'm like trying to close things because I think it's like a computer issue randomly. But yeah, that's just sort of a case where something like that just sometimes happens, and nothing to really learn from it other than try to improve the internet in the future, but it's just unlucky, to be honest. As I keep driving to go for it anyway, it kind of looks like I might be able to push forward, but end up getting lost there. It's good to keep driving even if you think you're gonna get lost, just because, you know, those extra like few points from the checkpoints might matter later on if you're really close to somebody in terms of scoring. Moving on to Panic City. This is a map I was very happy to see. I voted for it, and it was between that and Hanagumi Hall. Hanagumi Hall is like a little too cramped, and the zippers are really hard to hit, and there's a lot of just little things I don't really like about that map. It also feels like it goes on forever, even though it's a pretty short map, 5 laps. Again, it's probably doesn't actually feel like it's going on forever for people who actually enjoy that map, but also, yeah, cool Jaws there. The Jaws plus Zipper is just like too much. They gotta nerf it. There's like basically nothing you can do other than perfectly time up, bring Bale, and try to get if you have amps, try to use the amp shield. There was a wall right next to me, to be fair, but like that was like a half second the Jaws appeared. It was like I could not react to that. Darn, I'm actually really surprised I didn't get the first place there. Unfortunate. It's an unfortunate bump that cost me that first place checkpoint as well. Messed up that wave dash, and I'm gonna fall back a little bit. Feels like those two checkpoints are like, if you get one, you're basically just gonna get the next as well because they're so close together. I end up having first place sort of randomly without really doing anything. I don't remember if I keep running or if something happens. Managed to get the click there finally. That's the line. You gotta do a wave dash until it clicks, and then drift on the off-road a little bit, and then release. Oh yeah, I managed to get first here. A lot of top placements, but only one first so far. I think just a lot of random stuff ended up happening in the back between Bones and Kracko and Napwhack, because I just managed to keep running the race without anything really happening to me. This is the second to last race with Ring Chateau. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I voted for Kodachrome, but we ended up going to, I think there's Voidance too, but we ended up going to Withering Chateau. And I don't know if Kodachrome's been picked at all for any of the Mogis that I've played. It's a level that I've been trying to vote for because it's a really good lightweight level, actually, but just haven't had luck with it. I end up not getting that whip, but not really getting punished for it. Ah, dang, Orby. And then I end up getting break checked by Krako and end up losing a lot of time. It's unfortunate. Maybe not the best place to start charging a whip in hindsight. It feels like I felt like I had so little options there though after getting hit by that Orby. Unfortunately, just barely missed bones with that bubble. I feel like it would have been more worth my time to go for a release, maybe down the slope, a down release, so I can get that speed. So having the amps just save for later might have been, might be able to help, rather than having the speed immediately. I'm sure it's a case-by-case scenario, but I wonder which one's better overall. I explicitly go for the first place checkpoint there just because a lot of things have gone wrong in this race and not too much else to really say. And I get whipped there, so that's that. I think I was thinking about going for Ring Veil there, and I'm glad I didn't because would have died and probably retired. I had to guess. Final race is Hydrosity. I think I played Hydrosity in the previous video that I uploaded, but yeah, I did. I managed to get to the front, but I can't make a drift spark in time, so I managed to get a double whip to push forward. I'm still holding the whip like that? It looked like Xander was trying to slow down a little bit to try to break check me. Maybe he thought I was still in ring sync to try to get... and wanted to try to just hit me. But yeah, on the opener, I actually got there first, probably partly due to the speed stacking on my stat line, but couldn't quite get a drift spark in time. That was an unfortunate bump too, costing me a lot of time over that cutscene. I think I've tried to roll for Jaws in second, but end up rolling the Orby instead, and I throw it backwards. Managed to hit Xander there. Yeah, that's like what I'm talking about. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? It's so fast. And having, like, releasing your amps is such a big opportunity cost. That either you have to use all your rings and that takes a while, or you have to ring veil and that's, like, super risky. Like, I really think, like, so second place Jaws is like something needs to be done about that. It's really dumb the way it is right now, in my opinion. Do I go for a shortcut here? No, I don't. Don't know why. There wasn't like any reason not to. I think I prepared a line to take the shortcut, but then I realized I'm in first place, and so I have to counter drift back, unfortunately, and I end up losing my voltage there, so I'm not going to be able to get first, I don't think, no. But unfortunately, nothing else really bad happens there either, so end up sneaking in 3rd place and another 100. Pretty decently consistent Mogi outside of a few races. It's unfortunate that I just completely lagged out on that Robotnik Coaster race. The Bones end up winning the lobby, but no DCs, so the scores are what they are. I end up getting 2nd place. It's not too shabby for my first Mogi. So this was a tier C Mogi, not a tier D or tier B. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.